So like many of us, I've been playing with and sort of amazed by some of the new AI that is available on the internet now. So, you know, getting image generators to give me a Matisse-style painting of a polar bear meditating, or getting Chat GPT to have a conversation with me entirely in emojis, or give me a recipe that I can cook tonight using the ingredients in my fridge. In some ways very entertaining, kind of amazing, and potentially very, very useful. And I'm sure that we're all going to see the artificial intelligence to become more and more of a feature of our lives because of how useful it could potentially be. And I'm left with a sort of strange feeling after I've been using it that I'm not quite familiar with. It's a new experience, and I've been trying to examine that. So, for example, I was in a car with some friends and we were playing with Dall-E, this image generator, in the back of the car. And I'd not seen it before, and we were sort of, you know, typing in descriptions of some images we wanted to see, and they'd appear. So then, looking out the window, somebody pointed out that outside the window where we were driving, it was dusk, and there was this low moon, a full moon, sort of deep red, just above the horizon. And my tendency, what I was drawn to do at that moment, was to write red moon, low over horizon, over motorway at dusk, photorealistic. And we sort of said that as a joke at the time, but really that was what went through my head. And this sense of like a creative experience, I was just sort of giving over to a mechanical process. I've had that experience then talking to Chat GPT as well, where, I wonder what a good thing for me to do about this would be, and you just type it in and ask it. It's like absolving your own creativity to a machine. And I listened recently to a talk by Ian McGilchrist, the neuroscientist and philosopher and thinker, talking about this area, and he said something like, I paraphrase, he said something like, the danger of our relationship to artificial intelligence is that the more human-like the machines that we relate to become, the more machine-like we become. The more machine-like our understanding of humanity, our humanity will be. So that I think's the real danger. I'm not so worried personally about you know, android-like robots coming and shooting lasers at us all. It's more the sense of what effect does this have on our understanding of ourselves? Already our worldview, our scientific kind of matter is all there is kind of worldview, already inclines us to thinking of ourselves as machines. So if we are in relationship to a machine that seems to just be more intelligent and more creative even than us, then where does that leave us? We're left as a sort of inadequate machine in relation to this super machine. And I think the problem, and hopefully the solution, lies in the fact that what these platforms are so good at doing is being useful. You know, a machine is a dead object that is built for a use. It's got a use purpose that it's valuable to the extent that it can do it. So if what our value is how quickly we can produce text along a certain format, or how quickly we can produce what looks like a photoshopped image, then yes, we're a lot less useful than a machine. But what's being left out is all those things about life that don't fit into this bracket of being useful. So one thing, for example, that isn't needed for any of this, that these platforms don't have, is a body. And a human body, the Buddha tells us, is the essential prerequisite for gaining enlightenment, for discovering the full potential of human life. A body is necessary, a body that is fragile and impermanent and messy and full of feelings and emotions and contradictions. is essential to live a full life. It also leaves out our appreciation of beauty for its own sake, rather than just a recreation of something that seems to serve a purpose. Beauty for its own invaluable sake. Also, our relationships with other people that aren't just based on what we can get from them, whether that be approval or money or help or sex and affection. The basis of a relationship where we just appreciate someone for their own humanity. These are all the qualities that make life really worth living and lead us to the potential of a life that is much, much more than we currently experience it to be. So, although I don't want to say, burn the AI, because I wouldn't know where to start anyway, and it's clearly going to become a useful function in our lives, potentially. There's all sorts of good that it could do. All I want to say is let's just remember what is human and what is machine. As those two things seem to come closer and closer together, it's going to be more and more important to recognize when we're talking to a person and when we're talking to a machine, and not allow ourselves to blur the line between the two. So that we talk to other people as people, and we use machines as machines, and we relate to our own humanity, our own potential, as a rich, useless, wonderful humanity rather than a quantifiable use function of a machine.